Om Sri Sai Ram. For quite some time we have been studying about integrals, indefinite and then definite. Now we are moving forward to see how this integration of various functions which we have studied till now are useful in solving various problems. So the topic name is application of integrals. We are going to apply what we have learned in order to solve some problems, and particularly area under simple curves. What do you mean by area under simple curves? We are familiar with the term area. Maybe right from 3rd or 4th standard you have been studying, or maybe from 6th standard you have been studying area of rectangle, area of circle, area of various figures. What is that we are going to study now? We have learnt about finding out areas of regular figures. If it is a triangle, if it is a quadrilateral, if it is a circle, we know how to calculate the areas. But suppose there are irregular figures. Suppose curves are given, you have to calculate areas under curves. All that which we studied, all the formulae which we have learned will not be helpful to us to calculate those areas. Those areas can be calculated by using integration. So we are using integration primarily to find the areas under the curves. So let us move on and see how it is done. Area under a simple curve. Here we have a curve which is of y equal to fx. Y equal to fx is some function. It can be sine function, cosine function, algebraic function, logarithmic function. Function can be anything. We have drawn the graph. Let us say this is the graph of that particular function. Right and left boundaries are being defined. Here is a line which is parallel to y axis. We are calling it x equal to a because equation of y axis is y equal to 0. Similarly, this line is also parallel to y axis. We are calling it x equal to b. And above x axis. So 3 boundaries are being defined. And what is the 4th boundary? Below the curve. So what is the procedure we are following? The procedure which we are following is a very simple one. This whole area we are trying to divide into number of strips, very thin strips. What happens if the strip is very thin? The advantage is when the strip is very thin, what you find here like a curve becomes more like a side. It becomes like a rectangle, and if it becomes a rectangle, we know the area of a rectangle, length into width. What is the length here? We are taking, it is y. It can be anything. We are taking it as y. Y is the function. So y is the height, and this width, which is more or less like the width of the rectangle, how much is it? Very small. We are calling it dx. So the width is dx, length is y. If you multiply both, you get y into dx, area of that thin strip. As I mentioned, the strip can be as thin as possible. And then from this end to that end, whatever number of strips you have got, add the areas of all that, you get the required area. That is what been explained here. Look at this. We can think of area under the curve as composed of large number of very thin vertical strips. Consider an arbitrary strip of height y with dx. What is the height we are taking? Y. What is the width we are taking? Dx. What is the area of the strip? Length into width, that is y into dx, where y is nothing but the given function. Now, area under a simple curves, this area is called elementary area, which is isolated at an arbitrary position within the region which is specified by some value of x between a and b. Now the question is whether it should be in the middle, or it should be in the left end, or it should be in the right end. There is no such restriction. It is in any arbitrary point. It can be taken anywhere. You can take in this end, you can take in that end, you can take in the middle, wherever you wish. You can consider one particular strip between A and B, and we are taking that height as y and width as dx. Okay. So, area of the region between x-axis, above x-axis, ordinates, these are the ordinates x equal to a and x equal to b, between x equal to a and b, and adding up the elementary areas of thin strips across the region PQRSP. PQRSP. This total area we want to calculate. So, what we are doing? We are calculating the area of a thin strip, and we are adding up all such thin strip areas, and we get the total area. This can also be done along y-axis. Suppose the curve is like this. So, instead of writing y equal to fx, now we will say x equal to gy. X equal to gy is the function. So, in that case, what we are taking? The boundaries parallel to x-axis. What is the equation of x-axis? Y equal to 0. So, here y equal to c is a line, y equal to d is another line which are parallel to x-axis. Both are parallel to x-axis. These are the boundaries. If these are the boundaries, we are taking a thin strip parallel to x-axis. Now, since it is we are taking parallel to x-axis, the function is expressed x in terms of y. So, the strip which we are taking, vertical strip as y, now we are taking it as x, and the width which we are considering it as dy, we are taking it as dx, now we are taking it as dy. So, what will be the area of this thin strip? The length is x, width is dy, so it will become x into dy. Between C and D, if you add all such strips, area of those strips, you get the total area under the curve beyond the y-axis, between the y-axis, between these two y equal to c and y equal to d ordinates. So, this also can be one of the methods. Either you take a vertical strip or you take a horizontal strip. If you take a vertical strip, the boundaries are x equal to a and x equal to b. If you are taking a horizontal strip, the boundaries are y equal to c and y equal to d. Formula is same. It can be used either this way or that way, both are same. You can call it c to d x dy or a to b x dy, c to d gy dy. It all depends upon what are the boundaries you are taking. This can be corrected as a to b. Now, look at this particular figure. What do you find? We find that the curve is below x-axis. If it is below x-axis, the area which you are going to get will be negative. Procedure is same, but you are going to get the answer as negative. But we know that area is always positive. So, what do? Whatever area we get, we take the modulus of that, absolute value of that, and automatically it becomes positive. So, that is what he has explained here. When fx is less than 0, from xa to x equal to a to x equal to b as shown in the figure, you are going to get a to b fx dx only, but that will be negative. So, we are taking the absolute value so that the answer is going to be positive. When it happens? When the curve is below the x-axis. Now, sometimes the curve is like this. You can see some part of it is below the x-axis and some part of it is above the x-axis. Whatever is below the x-axis, that area is going to be negative. whatever is going to be above x-axis, the area is going to be positive. So what do we do? If you directly add both of them, you will not get the correct area. For example, in this case, you won't get directly. So what do we do? Whatever is negative, take absolute value of that, and whatever is positive, directly add that. So see the change. It is modulus of A1. A1 is this area. Why modulus? Because it is below x-axis. And A2 is directly added because that is anyway positive. So this which is negative, by taking absolute value it becomes positive, plus A2, it gives you the total area. So in this particular manner, when something is negative, something is positive, make negative positive by taking absolute value and then add the positive. We will solve some problems where we will come across all these situations which we have described, and you will be able to understand better. The first problem is find the area of the region bounded by the curve y square equal to x. Whenever you see a function, for example here is a function, you should be able to guess what kind of curve you are going to get. For example, in this case y square equal to x, it is going to be a parabola. If it is so, what kind of parabola? Is it opening right side? Is it opening left side? Is it opening upward? Is it opening downwards? That also you can easily tell by looking at the equation. For example, this particular parabola y square equal to x is going to be opening right side. So draw that. First you draw it, then he says between the lines x equal to 1, x equal to 4 and x-axis in the first quadrant only. Only in the first quadrant we have to calculate the area. So first and foremost thing which we will do is, first we will draw the curve. So take the equation y square equal to x, take values of x and y. Let us say x is 0, y will be 0. Let us say x is plus or minus 1, it can be plus 1, it can be minus 1. Suppose x is 1. So y square is going to be square root of 1. When you take square root of 1, the answer can be plus or minus 1. Suppose if you give the value x equal to 4, the answer is going to be plus or minus 2. And this should be good enough because we already got 5 points. With the help of that we can draw the curve. So draw the curve. You can see that no negative values of x here. Plot these points which we have taken. X is 0, y is 0. So the origin itself is the first point. When x is 1, y is 1. When x is 1, y is 1, as well as minus 1, both these points. Then when x is 4, it is 2, plus 2 and minus 2. So parallel to this is this, and here it is this. Join these points, you will get the curve. So this is the parabola which he is talking about. So we have drawn the curve. What is the next thing? He says x equal to 1, x equal to 4. What is x equal to 1? Equation of y axis is x equal to 0. So x equal to 1 is a line which is parallel to y axis. So from 1 you draw a line which is parallel to y axis. This is a line which is parallel to this. Similarly 4, here also you draw a line which is parallel to this. This line is x equal to 1, this is x equal to 4. Now you have to shade that particular area which we want to calculate. So what is the area we want to calculate? Area between x equal to 1 and x equal to 4 above x axis below the curve. So this is the area. You can call it, let us say, A, B, C, D. That shaded area A, B, C, D we want to calculate. How do you do it? The very simple, you take a thin strip, we call it Y, and then take the width as dx and calculate. So shaded area A, B, C, D is equal to integration of y dx, and the limits are going to be AB. So substitute the values. What are the limits? A is 1, B is 4, so it is between 1 and 4. What is the function y? Y square equal to x. If y square equal to x, what will be y? Root x dx. So what do you get by simplifying it? You get x to the power 3 by 2 by 3 by 2, which can be written as 2 by 3, and the limits are between 1 to 4. Simplify, take 2 by 3 outside, 4 to the power 3 by 2 minus 1 to the power 3 by 2. 4 can be written as 2 square, so 2 square and by 2 will get cancelled, will get left with 2 cube. 2 cube is 8, 8 minus 1 is 7, so 7 into 2, 14. Answer will be 14 by 3 square units. This is how we calculate the area under the curve above x axis between the ordinates x equal to 1 and x equal to 4. Problems are very simple. If you are taking the limits on x axis, the function has to be y. If you take the limits on y axis, function has to be x dy. Okay. So let us move forward to the next problem. Here is an interesting problem. By looking at the equation, you should be able to tell what does it represent. For example, this is the equation of ellipse. Even in ellipse, we have got two types of ellipse. One along x-axis, one along y-axis. How do you decide which kind of ellipse it will represent? By looking at the denominators. The standard equation of ellipse is x square upon a square plus y square upon b square equal to 1. When a square is greater than b square, the ellipse is along x-axis. So this particular ellipse is along x-axis. So draw the ellipse. Let us say this is O, this is A, B, C, D. Where does this meet x-axis? Very simple, put x equal to 0, you get y square equal to 9, y equal to plus or minus 3. So it will meet y axis at plus 3 and minus 3. Put y equal to 0. If we want to know a point on x axis, we know that the y coordinate is going to be 0. Put y 0, you get x square equal to 16. So as a result, we can say that the coordinate of A are 4 comma 0. This is going to be minus 4 comma 0. This is going to be 0 comma 3. And this is going to be 0 comma minus 3. Very interesting thing about ellipse is, it is symmetric with respect to x axis. It is also symmetric with respect to y axis. So in order to calculate the entire area of ellipse, we don't need to calculate the whole thing. If we calculate the area in the first quadrant and multiply with 4, you get the total area. Why do we do this? Because the figure ellipse is symmetric. Symmetric means it looks alike. Whether you look at left side or you look at right side, means it is a mirror image. Similarly, above x-axis and below x-axis are mirror images. So we say it is symmetric. So area of ellipse is going to be ABCD, can be calculated just by calculating this 1/4 of the area and multiplying with 4. So is equal to 4 times, what are the limits? Here it is x is 0, there x is 4. So it is between 0 and 4. Since we are taking the limits on x axis, the function has to be y dx. Substitute y. How do you substitute y? By simplifying this equation for y. How do you simplify that equation for y? This can be written as y square by 9 equal to 1 minus x square by 16. Simplify it further, you will get this 9, you take it to that side, this can be written as y square equal to 9 by 16 into 16 minus x square. With the help of that, you can tell what is y. This y can be found out from there. So area is going to be, area is equal to 4 times 0 to 4 y. Y square is that much. So what is y? It is going to be 3 by 4 under root of 4 square minus x square dx. We learned many formulae in integration, but in this particular chapter, very frequently you come across this formula. What is the formula? Integration of under root of a square minus x square dx is equal to x by 2 under root of a square minus x square plus a square by 2 sine inverse x by a. This formula we will be using in solving many problems. So please keep this particular formula in mind. For example, here we are using that. This 4 and 4 will get cancelled, 3 can be taken out, and use the formula a square minus x square. In place of a we have got 4. So x by 2 is x by 2 only, under root of 4 square minus x square plus a square is 4 square, that is 16, a square by 2 into sine inverse x by a, x by 4. Limits are from 0 to 4. Substitute the limits. How do we solve the definite integral formula problem? After integrating, we have finished the integration. First substitute the upper limit in the whole thing minus the lower limit. So when you substitute 4, what will happen? 4 by 2 is 2, 4 square minus 4 square, it will become 0. So we can say that, let this 3 be outside, the first term will become 0. Why it will become 0? When you substitute 4, this whole thing, this becomes 0, as a result whole thing becomes 0. 16 by 2 is nothing but 8, sine inverse 4 by 4. We have substituted upper limit minus lower limit. So when you do minus, and when you take 0, 0 into anything is again 0. So this will become 0 minus, when you substitute 0 here, sine inverse 0 is again 0. So this is also gone. So we are left only with this. So what is it? Sine inverse 4 by 4. What is sine inverse 4 by 4? Sine inverse 1. What is sine inverse 1? Pi by 2. So, we are left with 3 into 8 into pi by 2. So, 2 ones are 2 fours are. So, the answer is 12 pi square units. So, the total area of the ellipse is 12 pi square units. How did we calculate? We calculated the area 1/4 multiplied with 4, we got the total area. So, in this manner, we will be able to solve the problems, very simple problems. There is no much difficulty, just one simple formula, y dx or x dy depending upon the strip is along y axis or x axis. Find the area of the region in the first quadrant enclosed by x axis, line x equal to root 3y and the circle. Circle. See the equation of circle, x square plus y square equal to 4. What kind of circle it is? It is a circle whose center is origin and radius is 2 square means 2. Which can be written as 2 square. So, draw a circle and remember its radius is how much? 2 units. So, let us say this is 1, this is 2, this is minus 2, etc. So, we are drawn a circle. After circle, what is the next thing? We have a line. What is the line? X equal to root 3y. We have to draw the line. How do you draw the line? X equal to root 3y. Take points x and y. Suppose x is 0, y will become 0. Suppose x is root 3. Root 3 will get cancelled, you will get y equal to 1. How much is root 3? Approximately 1.7. Okay. So, here we have 1, here we have 2. So, somewhere here it is going to be 1.7, let us say. So, draw those points. The first point is origin itself. The second point is when x is 1.732, it is 1. So, somewhere here you are going to get, this is the line. This is the line which is representing, this is let us say root 3. So, one is a circle, another is a line. Now, read the question again. Find the area of the region in the first quadrant only. So, we have nothing to do with all this. We have to take up only first quadrant. Enclosed by, what are the things covering it? X axis. So, above x axis you have to take. Line y equal to root 3y, below the line you have to take, and the circle. So, this is the area which we are going to calculate. You can say OAB. This OAB area we are going to calculate. Now, the question is, how do you calculate? How do we calculate this area? Because there are two things. Till now it was only one thing. There was only ellipse, and in the first problem there was only parabola. But here we have two things. So, what do? We draw a perpendicular from B on this x axis. This is the x axis. So, on x axis we draw a perpendicular. So, draw it. So, this area, let us say this point we are calling it C or D, let us say we are calling it D. So, the area OAB is being divided into two parts. One is a triangle ODB, Another is the small part BDA. Both you have to calculate separately. In fact, calculating area of this triangle is very, very simple. It's not what are the coordinates of B, where the line and circle are meeting each other. What are the coordinates of B is very important. So how do you get that? By substituting the value of x in the equation of circle. So substitute this in equation of circle. X square will become 3y square plus y square is 4y square. You will get 4y square equal to 4, y square equal to 1, so y equal to plus or minus 1. So this particular point is having the coordinates root 3 comma 1. The coordinates of B are root 3 comma 1. Now how do you calculate the area? Required area. Which is the required area? It is OAB. We are dividing into two parts, that is area of triangle ODB. Let us say we are shading it this way, ODB. Let us say we are giving this kind of shade for ODB plus area, which area it is? DAB. Let us say we are giving this kind of shading to this. If you add both, you get the total area. Area DAB. In this first area of the triangle, we can get with the help of line. Second one, we will get with the help of circle, the curve which is part of the circle. What are the limits? Limits are from 0 to root 3. 0 to root 3. Y dx. What is y? Y of the straight line. What is the y of the straight line? Y of the straight line is x by root 3 plus means what? We are taking the area below the line above x axis between 0 and root 3. The limits are 0 and root 3. The equation of line is y x equal to root 3y or y equal to root 3, y equal to x by root 3. And then this small area DAB, how do you calculate? With the help of curve. And what are the limits? It starts from root 3 up to 2. And again y dx. What is y? With the help of this you have to find out y. How do you find out? We will say y square equal to 4 minus x square, or in other terms 2 square minus x square. 4 minus x square can be written as 2 square minus x square. Y square is that much, so y is square root. So calculate the area now. So this will become 1 by root 3 outside. Integration of x is x square by 2 between 0 and root 3 plus, again as I mentioned, this particular formula we will be using frequently. So what is the formula? X by 2 under root of a square minus x square plus a square by 2 sine inverse x by a. What are the limits? Root 3 to 2. Substitute, this 2 also can be taken out. So it will become 1 by 2 root 3. Substitute the upper limit, root 3 square is 3 minus 0. Here we can take out by 2 outside for convenience sake. So x is 2, and here when you substitute 2, what will happen? It will become 0. So basically we are trying to say that this whole thing will become 0. When you substitute 2 here, 2 by 2 will become 1, sine inverse 1 will become pi by 2, and this is plus 4 into this will become pi by 2. Now substitute upper limit. When you substitute upper limit, lower limit, it will be minus, substitute root 3, so it will become root 3 by 2, 4 minus root 3 square, it will become 1, so it is nothing but 1 only, minus, because we are substituting lower limit, we have to put minus sign, 1 by 2 we have taken out already, one by 2 we have taken out, so what is left? Only 4 sine inverse root 3 by 2. What is sine inverse root 3 by 2? It is pi by 3. Simplify it, so it will become root 3 by 2, because root 3 and 3 can be cancelled, plus 1 by 2, this will become 2 pi, or 2 into 2, 4 into 4 will get cancelled, you will get pi, or multiply it directly, so it will become 2 and 2, 4, 4 and 4 will get cancelled, you will get pi, minus 1 by 2 will come here, it will become root 3 by 4. This 2 will get cancelled, you will get 2 pi by 3. Once you check up the calculation, you have substituted root 3 square is 3 by 2. The 2 we already wrote outside. When we substitute 2 here, 2 by 2 is 1. Okay, so the first one becomes 0. When we substitute 2 here, 1 by 2 we kept it outside. 4 sine inverse 1. 4 sine inverse 1. Sine inverse 1 is pi by 2. Substitute lower limit with minus sign. 1 by 2 is kept outside. So root 3 here, and then 1. This is the mistake. The mistake is, the best thing can be that you just remove this 1 by 2 which is we kept outside, not required. Let it be so as it is. So this is 0. This will become, the first one became 0, second one will become, in place of this we have written, then this is 4 by 2 sine inverse 1 will become pi by 2. When we substitute root 3, it will become root 3 by 2, 4 minus 1 is 1, right? And when we substitute here, you will get 4 by 2, sine inverse root 3 by 2 is pi by 3. So if you simplify, you get these 2 and 2 cancel, so you get pi, that is correct, minus root 3 by 2, and here what you are going to get, 2 pi by 3, correct. So plus root 3 by 2 minus root 3 by 2 will get cancelled, pi minus 2 pi by 3, you will get the answer pi by 3. So this is how we calculate the area. Means actually we are moving from very simple to little challenging problems. So in this particular problem we had two things. Till now we had only one particular curve. So in this manner we solve the problems. Let us take up this problem. Very interesting problem, different than all the problems we have done till now. What is the difference? He says the area between x equal to y square and x equal to 4 is divided into two equal parts by a line. Find the value of A. Once again we have a curve. What kind of curve it is? X equal to y square, or you can say y square equal to x. So what is this curve represents? As usual it represents a parabola. What kind of parabola? Which opens right side. And then x equal to 4 is a line parallel to y axis. So how do you draw this? The same procedure. Take x and y. X is 0, y is 0. X is 1, y is plus or minus 1. X is 4, y is plus or minus 2. We have already done this kind of problem. Let us say this is the parabola. So here is a parabola, we have drawn it, and then x equal to 4. X equal to 4 is a line which is parallel to y axis at the distance of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So here is a line which represents x equal to 4. And then he says this entire area, which area? The area between the curve x equal to 4 is divided into two equal parts. This entire area means, let us say this is O, this is A, this is B. This entire area AOB is divided into two equal parts. You can see this side it is narrow, that side is more wider. So what will happen? You cannot take middle point. Okay, so you have to take little away from the middle point, let us say somewhere here. Let us say this is the line x equal to A, which is dividing into two equal parts. You can call it, let us say, C and D. So one area is OCD, another area is CABD. These two areas we can say they are equal. He is asking what is A. Where is that point A which is dividing it into two equal parts? So what do? We calculate both the areas, equate both the areas. You will get the answer. So we can say that area of OCD is equal to area CABD. Observe, this is a curve, the curve which he has given. X equal to 0 and x equal to A are the limits. Since you are taking the limits on x axis, we take the function y dx. If you are going to take the function y dx, what will be y? It is going to be 0 to A, y will be root x equal to, when you want to calculate this area, this is also part of the curve, same curve, no difference. So curve is same, but the limits are from A to 4. And again root x dx. Why? Because function is same, curve is same. Calculate root x, we know that it is x to the power 3 by 2 into 2 by 3, 0 to A equal to same 2 by 3 x to the power 3 by 2, but now the limits are from A to 4. Simplify. How do you simplify? Cancel 2 by 3 both sides. Substitute upper limit. It will become A to the power 3 by 2 minus 0 equal to, substitute 4 to the power 3 by 2 minus A to the power 3 by 2. Get that minus A to the power 3 by 2 this side. It will become 2A to the power 3 by 2 equal to, 4 can be written as 2 square, 2 and 2 will get cancelled and you will be left with 2 square, 2 and 2 will get cancelled, you will be left with 8. 2 ones are, 2 fours are. We want to know what is A. So we can say A is equal to, take 3 by 2 that side, it will become 4 to the power 2 by 3. This is the answer. How much exactly you don't need to calculate. A equal to 4 to the power 2 by 3. That is the point where if you draw a line, it will divide the entire area into two equal parts. this problem is different than other problems. In all other problems, we have been calculating areas, whereas here we have found the value of a point. Okay. We'll end this particular session with one last problem. Find the area of the region bounded by the parabola y equal to x square and y equal to modulus of x. What do you mean by modulus of x? You can take positive value of x, you can take negative value of x. Means what? This actually represents y equal to x one line, y equal to minus one line. Two lines are there. Okay, whereas the other one is a parabola. What kind of parabola it is? The parabola is of the kind x square equal to y. We know x square equal to y is a parabola which opens upwards. Upward opening parabola is this. So, draw it. You can draw by taking points also. You can draw it directly also. Let us say x and y. X is 0, y is 0. Suppose x is equal to plus or minus 1, y is 1. Suppose x is plus or minus 2, y will be 4. This is a very simple line, y equal to x. You don't need to think much. X is 1, y is 1, x is 2, y is 2, that way. So, draw this. Draw the points. First for parabola 0, 0. Then 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 is here. For minus 1 also 1 is here. For 2 it is 4, somewhere here. For 2 it is 4, minus 2 also it is 4. So, join these points to get the parabola. Okay, so this is the parabola. Then we have to draw a line. What kind of line it is? Y equal to x. Y equal to x means what? If you take x and y values, if x is 1, y is 1, x is 2, y is 2, x is 3, y is 3, like that. So, 1, 1 is a point, 1, 1 is a point, 0, 0 is a point, 2, 2 will be a point. Join these points. Similarly, this side. Similarly, this side you join these points. Why? Because this is the second line, y equal to minus x. The area in between them is this small thin area he is talking about. You can call it O, A, B. That thin narrow area we want to calculate. Okay. How do you calculate? Shaded area. You can see that the shaded area is symmetric with respect to y-axis. Means whatever is in the right side of y-axis, same thing is there in the left side of y-axis. So, if you calculate one side and double it, that will give you the entire area. But remember, there are two things involved here. One is a curve, another is a line. For example, here is a line and here is a curve. In order to calculate the area, what do we do? From A, we draw a perpendicular. Let us say this is C. If you take the line and calculate the area, you get OAC, triangular area. From triangular area, this empty area which has come because of the curve, you need to subtract. Then you will get the actual area. And remember, its left side also it is same. So, we say shaded area is equal to 2 times what are the limits? This particular point is nothing but 1, 1. Okay. So, 0 to 1. First we have a line. If it is a line, what is its equation? Y equal to x. So, it will become x dx minus again 0 to 1 curve. When you take curve, Remember y we have to write in terms of x. So what is y here? X square. So it will become x square this is the required area. So calculate now. It will become 2. Integration of x is x square by 2. 0 to 1. This 2 is multiplied this side also. This is what? X cube by 3. Same 0 to 1. So 2 can be kept outside. Substitute 1, it will become 1 by 2. Substitute 1, it will become 1 by 3. 1 by 2 minus 1 by 3 is 1 by 6. So 2 into 1 by 6 is equal to 1 by 3 square units. So in this particular manner, we can calculate the area of the shaded region. This particular problem also involves a straight line and a curve. So we have to take two things separately. The difference between them gives you the actual area. So with this, we come to a close of this particular topic, and we thank all of you for watching this particular video. God bless. Sai Ram.